Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you've been trying to really wrap your head around the massive, and I mean absolutely massive transformation India has undergone over the last couple of decades, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're basically framing this whole thing as a highly structured study guide. It's designed specifically to simplify the facts, highlight those key development milestones, and give you some really clear, bulleted takeaways. We're going to take this complex, decades-long journey and break it down into an objective, easy-to-digest syllabus. So get ready to take some mental notes. All right, let's dive right in with the ultimate question. Can India actually become the world's #1 developed nation? That is the central thesis we're evaluating today. And to answer it, we really have to look at exactly how far the nation has come since the year 2000, what systems are currently in place, and honestly, what roadblocks still stand in the way. So, here's our syllabus for today. 1. Key milestones since 2000. 2. Sector growth and achievements. 3. State progress and city rankings. 4. Crucial areas for improvement. And finally, number 5, the path to #1. Let's kick things off with Module 1, Key Milestones since 2000. Let's map out the foundational stepping stones of the last couple of decades. Think back to 2009. That's when we saw the launch of Aadhaar. This was a completely revolutionary step in digital identity for literally over 1 billion people. Then, jumping to 2013, the Mangalyaan Mars orbiter mission definitively proved India's capability in high-end yet remarkably cost-effective space exploration. Then 2016 brought us UPI. This completely transformed how everyday financial transactions happen, effectively digitizing a massive cash economy almost overnight. Fast forward a bit to 2020, and the national education policy was introduced to overhaul the entire learning system. And of course, 2023 was just a massive banner year, with the historic Chandrayaan moon landing success and the Aditya L1 solar launch. Every single one of these wasn't just an event, it was a vital structural building block for the country's global future. Moving right along to Module 2, Sector Growth and Achievements. First up in this section, we have infrastructure and the economy. Look, tangible, physical growth is absolutely the engine of modern India. We're seeing this massive expansion of highways and expressways that are connecting the country like never before. There's a rapid rollout of metro projects across multiple cities, alongside these highly ambitious bullet train initiatives and the widespread development of smart cities. And on the economic front, well, this physical growth is matched by consistent GDP growth, an absolute boom in the startup ecosystem, and the Make in India initiative, which is actively boosting domestic manufacturing and global exports. It's really this incredible dual-engine push of concrete and capital. And this physical growth directly fuels our next cluster: technology, space, and defense. This is really where India has elevated its global standing. The Digital India push, which is powered by UPI, Aadhaar, and that nationwide 5G rollout, has created a deeply, deeply connected society. Meanwhile, ISRO just continues to hit massive milestones with Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, and the upcoming Gaganyaan human spaceflight mission. We're also seeing a major drive for defense indigenization. We're talking about creating indigenous weapons and platforms, things like the Tejas fighter jet, the INS Vikrant aircraft carrier, and the BrahMos missile. You add to this the strategic push into AI and semiconductor manufacturing, plus renewable energy efforts like solar, wind, and the green hydrogen mission, and you've got a heavily modernized, incredibly self-reliant technological landscape. Now, our third bucket here covers education and healthcare. And this is crucial because investments in health and education are the true markers of a nation's human capital development. You simply cannot have a developed nation without a developed populace, right? So we're looking at the vast expansion of premier institutions like the IITs, IIMs, and AIMS. The implementation of the NEP 2020 is working hand in hand with rising national literacy rates to really modernize learning right down at the grassroots level. And in healthcare, the Ayushman Bharat scheme is dramatically increasing access for vulnerable populations. This is all supported by rapid growth in the number of medical colleges and, honestly, some of the most massive, successful vaccination drives the world has literally ever seen. Okay, on to Module 3, State Progress and City Rankings. So while the nation is obviously growing as a whole, specific states are really leading the charge here. States like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, and several others are driving national progress by specializing in their own unique strengths. Whether that happens to the advanced manufacturing, cutting-edge IT, agriculture, or services. You see, development isn't just happening uniformly everywhere. It's this fascinating mosaic of regional powerhouses that are all working together to lift up the national average. And when we look at city rankings, these top-tier cities aren't just being graded on how many people live there. They're graded on a complex matrix of infrastructure, safety, education, public transport, and just overall quality of life. The leading cities actually secure their ranks by excelling in specific developmental strengths. For example, one might be a major education hub with super high literacy, while another totally leads in technology and employment, or maybe sets the gold standard for public transport and safety. It's exactly this combination of localized excellence that defines the modern Indian metropolis. All right, let's turn to Module 4, Crucial Areas for Improvement. Now we have to be objective here and contrast the striking triumphs with the stark realities that are still very present on the ground. Yes, the current triumphs are incredible. High GDP growth, booming tech startups, an advanced space program, massive infrastructure rollouts. But right across from that, we have hurdles that simply cannot be ignored. We're talking about persistent pollution, severe traffic congestion in major urban centers, unequal healthcare access between different demographics, and the pressing need for urgent judicial reforms, alongside a real reduction in corruption. Actually acknowledging and solving these systemic hurdles, that is absolutely vital for any kind of sustainable progress. Think of these points as the nation's immediate, objective to-do list. These are the societal and governmental challenges that absolutely must be prioritized if we want to elevate the overall quality of life for every single citizen. We really need to focus on improving basic education quality at the grassroots level, tackling that urban pollution, and actually implementing those judicial reforms. Furthermore, ensuring strict women's safety, promoting equal employment opportunities, and upgrading rural development, which includes critical things like water and waste management systems, these are non-negotiable steps if the ultimate goal is truly to be number one. Which brings us to our final section, Module 5, the path to number one. To successfully transition from a developing powerhouse to the actual number one spot globally, well, that requires moving beyond just basic infrastructure and stepping into true global leadership. Here are the 4 crucial requirements to get there. Step 1, build a highly skilled, globally competitive workforce. We are talking about true experts in cybersecurity, advanced manufacturing, and engineering. Step 2, establish definitive leadership in future technologies, things like AI, semiconductors, and deep research and innovation. Step 3, master sustainable development. Rapid growth just cannot come at the expense of the environment, so green governance is absolutely key. And finally, Step 4, empower the youth to drive innovation and really take on civic responsibility. And that perfectly leads us to a crucial takeaway. Quote, the ultimate bridge between India's current achievements and its future as the world's number one developed nation is the education, innovation, and action of its youth. I mean, think about it. All these state-of-the-art infrastructure, the sweeping policies, the incredible space missions, all of it relies entirely on the next generation to actually activate and sustain it. So, I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative question to chew on. Which of these development areas will you help improve to make this vision a reality? Because whether you're a student preparing to enter the workforce, an innovator, or just an engaged citizen, you are an active participant in this incredible developmental journey. Keep this study guide in mind as you look at the rapidly changing world around you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you next time.